Yo, congratulations, man. It's
Thank you, Sam, man.
crazy
Thank you.
result. Crazy result.
Thank you, bro.
Number two album in the UK. Like, you've come a long way. You've been putting in the grind for a minute. Like, how does it feel?
Well, it feels like I've closed one chapter and opened a new chapter. You know, I know that this isn't where it ends. We've got a lot of work to do in terms of things that I dream about and where I see myself. But I feel like, yeah, another milestone, and
Hmm.
it feels good. It feels really good, you know, to even have. Do you know what feels the best for me though? To have the culture back in me.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
it would feel the same. I don't
Hmm.
think it would feel the same if the culture wasn't behind it or the album wasn't as good as it is. I think it will feel like a cheat. You know what I'm saying? But it
Hmm.
feels really good to have the culture saying, yo, Don deserves this. Because he's done it for this long, he's worked hard, and his album's sick.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So that feels good. That feels really good.
How long was this album in the making? Because Conflict of Interest it's an incredible body of work. I don't know if you caught, like, I don't even do album reviews, but I did a little something like on social media because I was just like, yeah, this is exceptional body of work. I was talking about how, this is like the book of grime. This is like the book of grime according to Ghetts. This is your
Mm,
story, and it's incredible the way you put it together, the way that it's like a book, it's like a film, it's like a radio show. It's bigger than an album. Like it's
yeah,
almost, you know, it's the meaning to call it an album because it's way more than that. So was that the vision?
yeah. From the very start, we knew that we have to come strong. You know, I understand how it goes. I propagate it. We're in a young man's game. You know, there's a lot of ages.
Hmm.
She's been in it for a long time. They want you out. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes, Seb. Like sometimes even the word legend is like sometimes it depends who it's coming from, but it could be sometimes I think it's a backhanded compliment. It's like, yeah,
Right.
yeah, legend, man. Legend, you done your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You've done your thing. Like, yeah, cool. And sometimes I'm like, nah, I don't want to play up to that name. I don't care about what I've done. I care about what I'm doing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to go about what I've done or the risky roads freestyle or the artillery or this and that. I like great. I'm not looking down on those things. I show gratitude. I'm
Hmm.
glad people was into them at that time, but I'm not attaching myself to none of those things.
Hmm.
None of them. You know what I'm saying? And there will come a time when I don't want to attach myself to conflict of interest like that
Hmm.
because my mindset would have changed again and I would have evolved again from this time. You know what I'm saying?
What is it that keeps you going? What is it that keeps that passion, that energy, and that burn to do it? Because I tell people all the time I feel exactly the same way as you. Like, I've had people calling me a legend and this and that, and I'm like, no, 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 I've not done it. Like, I've not done it
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and um, and I know for me, like, I got something inside me that won't stop. Like, regardless,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be doing this forever. As long as I'm breathing, I'm gonna be doing this as as a DJ, podcaster, broadcaster, whatever. I'm
yeah.
always gonna be doing this. But what is it for you that gives you that keeps you going, that just whether you wanted to stop or not, pushing through?
Well, I think I could speak for you on this as well. We both love it. Like we love
Mm,
it. It's something that we do if we had normal 9 to 5s and would do this on the side. I think
yeah, yeah.
you would do the same. You would DJ,
No,
you know what I'm
definitely.
saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Like
yeah.
man actually love music. Love
Mm,
it. Listen to it constantly. Whether or not it's me or someone's just released the album, I listen to it. I just love it, man. I love music differently, always have done. So I guess that's what it really is. That's what drives me.
all right, all right. When did you first experience hip hop? Like, let's take it back to the beginning. What was the first? When was the first time you heard rap?
Oof. Um, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Where you gonna be? Outside on it? You better
Boss.
get yourself. I didn't even know the name. That's the first rap I learned. Do you know what I'm
Wow.
saying? I said that to
Wow.
you because I knew you was gonna know. But
Yeah, yeah,
I've looked for that tune over and
yeah.
over again. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So that's the first time I can remember like learning a rap and feeling it and repeating it. Then I remember me and a close friend of mine to this day, we learned Bad, 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 Bad Boy by Mace.
yeah, yeah,
Well, you know
yeah,
about going out head west, and TV in the headrest. Like as a
yeah,
youth
yeah,
saying this, you don't even know how dope this bar
yeah,
is. You just
yeah,
it
yeah,
just sounds nice, but you're not really
yeah, yeah,
digesting it. And then I remember even learning the Men in Black Will Smith featuring. You know what I'm saying?
wow. Yeah,
But I
yeah,
wasn't. I never understood lyricism.
right.
So even being young and being a big Jay-Z fan, I think it was more based on his flow. I wasn't digesting what was being said realistically.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and who else? Oh, Jay-Z. And then but there was some okay, so Tupac, yeah. Obviously it was very mainstream, but not. It was
Yeah,
mainstream
yeah,
because of the numbers he was doing,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
not in any other way, you know what I'm saying?
Mm, mm,
But something with him just resonated with me immediately, differently.
mm.
Like even without my understanding, it was just very those songs just resonated differently. Those are the first songs that resonated outside of what the lyrics are. I could understand it meant something. It was deeper than rap.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
And and then what happened? Then my dad then okay, I was away and I said to my dad, yeah, bring me some albums to listen to. And
Mm.
I remember he brought me a Common album, right? He bought me a Common album, and I think it had a kind of a pale green front and silver. I don't remember
Oh
exactly what
yeah,
the
yeah,
album
like
was.
what, like water for chocolate.
Okay, um, I remember being totally disrespectful to this album, thinking, "What's my dad brought me, man? This is dead or whatever the word was back then." As time has gone on, that album has given me a deeper understanding of why some people below a certain age group might not even understand myself when you're
Right,
rapping in layers.
right.
Like, imagine this, I look at it like a journey because later on when I've taken in the album and taken in Common, I'm like, this guy is a genius. This guy is special. He's
Yeah,
amazing. Rung my
yeah.
dad, had a long conversation about him. Dad, this guy,
Wow.
he's this, he's that, he's that. I'm sorry. I didn't get it. I was too young to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, man, those are my memorable experiences with hip hop. You know,
That's
and
dope.
it's even like obviously people put me in this grime artist, and yes, they wouldn't be wrong. I
Mm,
represent the grime
mm,
culture, but
mm,
to say that I've been influenced by grime more than I have hip hop would be a lie. 100%, that would be a lie. And that's why I'm one of the first lyricists within grime because I've always, from time I could understand, I could pen it, put pieces
mm.
together. I was aiming to be a lyricist, other than the 4 bar repeats and the 8 bar
Yeah,
repeats
yeah,
and those things. You know what I'm saying? I was aiming to paint a picture that people could visualize and do it in witty ways instead of being so straightforward. You
yeah.
know?
Mm.
Yeah.
So between Jay-Z, Tupac, and Common, which rapper would you say had the biggest impact on you as a creative?
Um, I'd say it's out of Tupac and Jay Z, but with Jay Z, when I started to have my own troubles and struggles with maybe like seeking a deal and maybe it not being the right time, his story kind of inspired me because his first album was Reasonable Doubt at 27,
Mm,
and then he was forced to kind of do it himself, and you know what I'm
mm,
saying, seeing him say things like the genius thing that he done was never give up, and
mm,
just so many different things that resonated with me as an artist,
mm,
you know. But Nas, don't want to leave out the GOAT, Nas. That guy's concept, that guy's delivery, how he's able to paint pictures, had a large impact on me later on in life,
Okay.
much later on in life. You know what I'm saying? When I could digest it differently, because it's a
Mm.
lot to digest. It's a lot. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying? And I didn't have that ability as a younger man. You know,
Mm.
plus I didn't have no older siblings either to kind of break it down. I was the first one breaking it down to my little siblings.
All right. I'm gonna cut that out. So, like, so would you say either of these albums, by a Jay-Z or a Nas or a Tupac or a Common, would you say like they influenced how you put together conflicts of interest? Because
100%.
no, I haven't heard nobody else do it like that apart from maybe a Kendrick. Like maybe it's a dope body of work. It's almost like
Yeah,
one long track, even though it isn't. So
yeah, yeah,
there's some albums that come out and it's like after three tracks you're like fuck that. You know what I
yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
With this, it was
yeah,
like, no, 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 no. Oh, what's next? No, what's he gonna? Where's he taking it next? You know. So
yeah,
it was like a
yeah,
journey, but it's crazy because I don't think anybody can do that without a great knowledge of music. You know.
yeah, yeah. I study the arts, man. Sam, I study what's before me, what was before them, to have an understanding of the lineage of how we got to this point, the evolution of everything. I really study the arts, like understanding, like I'm saying Jay-Z, right? Saying Jay-Z, but then I'm
Mm.
hearing Jay-Z talk about Big Daddy Kane. So now,
Mm.
even though Big Daddy Kane might not be for me, I need to see what he installed in Jay-Z and why this is, you know what I'm saying? I need to
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
And then I'm like, what was before that? Why do the people I rate this human being?
Right.
Okay, I gotta go back to the Rakims. I gotta go here, I gotta go there, I gotta watch it all, I gotta see how it was being done. Because even though some things might not hit me straight away, I understand that this is what makes the culture. Everybody inspires everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we can't really downplay anything just because I
Mm.
got us. I got to see KRS-One might not be speaking to me, but directly, but the people I rate him. Let me see what that's about. Let me understand.
Right.
Okay, I'm seeing the evolution of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's good when I see artists pay homage, because there wouldn't be without. It'll be very much different. You know what I'm saying? I know that without Heartless Crew, I don't sound anything like Bushkin. I don't sound anything like Mighty Mo. But they had such a big part to play in my childhood that I'm knowing there's certain textures and maybe a way I move and control a crowd that's got something to do with their influence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You just gotta pay homage.
I hear that. You know, in the UK, right, we've got a lot of different styles. And
Hmm.
I know to the rest of the world it can be confusing because when I talk to my American friends or artists that I know in America and they talk about certain artists, and I'm like, nah, 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 that's UK rap. No, no, no,
Mm.
that's UK drill.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
you can't say that. That's a grime artist. Like, can you break down the difference? Like, what exactly is grime you may not know? Because some people are just like, yeah, it's their hip hop, but it's deeper than that. Like, from your
Sam,
perspective,
Sam, do you know the honest truth is? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. I think where we may have gone wrong was renaming it every time it changes, because
right.
it's the evolution of what was before. And what America has done well is keep it under one umbrella, and it's not confusing because it's under one umbrella. But we understand that the Miami sounds different from the New York sound. The
Mm,
New York sounds much different from the West Coast sound, and so on and so on. And we understand it's been done very well. We understand that there's different elements of this one thing coming from different places. What we do here is just keep rebranding it every time, and then what it's done is segregate instead of it being one economy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's almost
yeah,
segregated. So that's how I
yeah,
look at it. I look at grime as the evolution of garage,
right.
and then I look at drill as the evolution of grime. You know, because it presents the same feeling in certain places.
Mm,
It presents the exact same feeling. The delivery is just different. But
mm,
one thing I've said to people is that I've noticed that when outside changes, what I mean by that, when the environment changes outside, a new sound is presented to the world.
mm,
That is the voice and soundscape for the teenage struggle. Every time the environment changes, one day it was jungle, then it was garage, then it was grime, now it's drill. You know what I'm saying? Before jungle, I wasn't really tapped in, so forgive me if I'm disrespecting anybody, but my knowledge kind of from here started at jungle. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And but for me, that's and it's just like just look into what it's changed into now. But that's why I'm saying it's important that we pay homage because otherwise people can't track the lineage of what's what,
yeah.
you know. But yeah, I think we're always like people saying to me, your album's not grime though, and I'm like, okay. But I'm an I'm like, okay, I'm an individual. So what I've actually made is bespoke to my life and who I
Mm,
am. You're not meant to
mm,
find that in anybody else, or you know what I'm saying? It's very bespoke to my upbringing.
mm. What I would say, right? Grime MCs, and this is no cap. I've said this all the time, and I've said this because I've done the touring thing and I've worked with grime artists and everything else, and I witnessed the Sidewinder days, like I DJ'd at some of them events,
Mm.
and I think the come up that grime MCs had or still have, if you're blessed, like that come up of doing the thing on stage, um, over different rhythms. I mean, for me, it was closer to dancehall than it is to hip hop in the way that it came about, the
Oh,
origins.
facts,
So, and
facts, Sam. I
and
can't argue with that.
and then the whole concept of pirate radio, just doing a doing a show and just barring for 2 hours, just like now you know what I mean. Even if it's repeating the same bars, it don't matter. Just that practice, that practice I think he puts Grime MCs above every other MC, every other caliber of MC, because that training and that practice and that dedication, and then you do it at a festival, you can rap over any beat, whether it's grime,
Yeah,
drum and bass,
yeah,
or jungle, whatever. That veracity, that training is never matched. And I feel for the YouTube generation because you're never gonna have that
yeah,
kind of practice, no matter how many
yeah,
shows you do,
yeah,
it's a different
yeah.
kind of penship. You know what I
They're
mean?
thrown into
You know,
the new kids coming up now. They're thrown into a deep end. You know, you do a tune on the block and it just goes wild. It's got millions of views. The next thing you know, you're doing a great stage time at wireless, and you don't really have that training. And sometimes you can see it, but we just got to bear with them because it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
not their fault at all. The generation before had so much training before getting to doing some of those bigger stages. By the time you got to the bigger stages, you was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You was comfortable in delivery and projecting and stage presence and whatnot. That's why I think with even now artist development, there should be artist development teams. Like it's
mm,
important. You know what I'm saying? But I guess for an industry, it's quick money and nobody's really thinking about the longevity. But that's why artists themselves should think about the longevity of it.
mm,
I know it's great today, but if you study the craft and you study what's before you, it goes up and down. It's not always up. It's not always like that. You know what I'm saying?
mm. We've been through a lockdown, right? And it's
Yeah.
it's 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 almost exactly a year now. How do you think that affects? There's a generation of artists that have never tore up a stage. There's a generation of artists that have never done mosh pit.
I
Generation
would
of
say,
artists.
yeah.
how does that affect the music and the culture though?
I was saying to Parsaloo and Batroll G, I was saying that you, man, it's mad because you had some tunes that are hitting, and
Mm,
normally you would have gone straight into shows and seeing how you was connecting and
mm,
whatnot. It's gonna be brazy, and I don't know. I guess I don't know what it's gonna be like. It could be two things. It could be there being no shows in that time. When they finally are shows, the energy is gonna be 50 times what it was going to be if there was, because of the hunger for a show, the hunger to see some of these artists. Or it may go the other way where your tune may not have lasted that time because everybody's still releasing. So whatever's closer to the date of the shows coming round is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I
mm,
don't know. I don't know how it's going to
mm.
be.
All right. Well, look, I'm so glad Reading Festival's been announced. That's like for me. I nearly wept when I found out. I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
I got
yeah, it's
breaking
mad.
news. Like I was like, yo, it's light. You know what I mean? It was like,
Yeah,
can't wait to be there, Leeds, whatever. And you
yeah,
know, and again, this is your year, an amazing year. I'm gonna
yeah.
put it out there. I hope you get the Mercury Award. I hope you get rated awards, Brit Award, everything, right?
Appreciate
And
it, man. Appreciate it.
and let's talk about the album. And you've been doing the independent thing for so long. Like, how did it feel
Yeah,
this time around to be signed and then to be going through the process of putting out music? Like, as someone who, you've worked with Kano, you saw Kano come up with what he was doing. You've done the independent thing like a Spartan, like put out
yeah.
albums, worked, and you've got the profile and the respect as anybody who's been
Yeah.
signed or whatever. But this time around, how did it feel?
Well, I wanted a different result, and I remember hearing a saying that only a madman does the same thing over and over again and expects a different result. You
Hmm.
know, so it was like for me, it was always it was cool having money, but that was money that I had to put straight back into my craft if I wanted to do anything. And what was really happening, to tell you the truth, because I'm in love with the art so much, I'm not somebody that can just shoot a video anyway, and I really think presentation is everything. So what was happening is that after I shoot a couple of videos, I'm looking at my stacks going down and thinking, boy, you're spending this on the mixing, you're spending that on PR, you're spending it on the videos, you're doing this, you're adding this, and it's like it's getting to a point where I might be hitting my last 50, and with kids and everything else, it's scary to
Hmm.
do that. It's
Yeah.
very scary, you know what I'm saying? I know everybody talks about independent and it's a great idea, but a lot of people haven't done independent that speak about the independence. I'm not saying that it's not a great idea, it is, but
Hmm.
also I said to my manager Trent, I said, okay, you think after the last album we're in a position where we can do some type of partnership where I have full creative control and they don't get involved in the creative, because remember that wasn't an option for me before, and that was
Hmm.
always scary. So the reason why we went with Warner, because that's what exactly what we done, a partnership where I can have full creative over what I'm doing, and then they license the music from me, you know, which was amazing for me because that meant I can still be hands on, I can still
Hmm.
do my wild ideas, and it wouldn't, as you could see as well, I didn't announce the deal, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
announce
yeah,
it at all because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not it's not about having the deal, it's about what you do with the deal.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that have got deals, but it doesn't turn into anything. So I didn't want to make this big announcement of like, yeah, we signed. I even had to tell the label, please don't post any pictures or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that. You know what I'm saying? We'll
yeah,
celebrate when we've got a real reason to celebrate.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
that was my mantra behind what I was doing. So it was
Mm,
like, let's get to work. We've got a lot of work to do here. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And then that was it. And for me, it's been it's been good because to have that financial backing where I can shoot without having to be worried about, so on and so on
yeah,
and
yeah,
so on and so on. So yeah,
yeah.
for me, it was peaceful, and I really got to do a campaign how I would do a campaign if I had all the money in the world from all those years ago. Those are all, what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
dope. That's dope. Just for clarity, when you said you were down to your last 50, like
yeah.
50 what?
50 grand, like that, but that's scary because you got so
I still a lot to some man, you know.
You know, it's, I know I'm not even, but you know, it is when you've got, it's the outgoings. So like, I'm down to my last 50, but my outgoings are like 8 a month. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's scary.
On Mozambique, you say, how can they tell me about chef like I ain't made food out of human? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Oh, Sam, you're killing me. You know what that means, Sam. You know, it's, it's like, that's just me be clever with the wordplay. So the kids have got this new word, chef, which means, you know, what I mean, is anyone that knows means. But I was thinking, bro, I hate talking about that stuff without becoming Shakespeare. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like I don't like when it's just like straight to the point.
mm,
I'm like, nah, this like, so I was like, let me tell man about chef. Like I ain't made food that I human. Like saying, man, he looked at my grill and then I had to barbecue them. So that's just play on all the words and the cooking and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate
mm,
talking about that stuff and it's not like poetry, man.
mm. How do you feel about like, in UK drill, they talk frequently about chefing, dipping, chinging, like it's like nothing. Like, and I'm a fan of rap. Like I've listened to rap all my life, but I never heard this amount of like
Yeah, yeah,
lyrical references to knifing. It's deep. Like
yeah.
what, what's your take on that?
My take on it is that it's a sign of the times, and just watching how it's got worse over just being an analyst of music, just seeing that, like I said, every time the environment gets worse, the reflection of the environment gets worse, and that's where it is. But what I will say is, I said something to someone the other day, is that I think that when I was coming through, I was saying the worst thing, so I have no right to judge um, some of these kids coming up now. All I can say is that when your life starts changing, if you're still talking like that frequently, then it holds no weight because it's not authentic.
Right.
You're gonna have to eventually start talking about different things that are more reflective to the current state of your life. You know what I'm saying? And we know, as I said, we know what the kids are coming in the game and what the deals are at the moment. So we know with that type of money, you're still talking that way 3 to 4 years down the line. It's not gonna hold any weight. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Because you're then gonna have to broaden your horizons. But I guess for somebody that's coming up now and that's what their surroundings is, that's where their mindset is. I have no right. I have no right to kind of throw a stone from my glass house and be judgmental. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Um, that's where their mindsets. Do I wish it was different? Do I wish they had more of a broader subject matter? Of course, even so I could enjoy it a bit more. Because after
mm.
one or two, three tunes on the album, I get kind of like it's too much for me. Feels a bit,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I get as an older man, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But at the same time, I understand that's where it is right now. God
mm,
willing, as your life starts to change,
mm,
you talk about those changes, you know what I'm saying? And
mm,
if you do touch on those things, may it be about in hindsight and may it be referring to the progress that you have made. You know what I'm saying?
right. Mm.
Yeah.
You've done the road life. You've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think the times have gotten worse from when you was on the come up, from when you were doing
A
your
hun-
thing?
Yeah, and you know it is with me as well. When I speak about the road, yeah, I have an understanding as well. I, um, obviously I was out there on the roads doing bits and bobs or whatnot, but some of these kids are really deep in, man. Really, really deep in. Some of these gentlemen are really, 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 really deep in, deeper than I have ever been in. And that's just me talking it, you know what I'm saying? And and for me, having the support system that I have, it was easier for me to make a change because I had a really a great support system. That's even why in the Proud Family video, We made sure that scene of the young Justin coming out of jail, he was greeted by his mum, and we made sure that you could see the dynamic of maybe somebody being greeted by their brethren with champagne and whatnot. We're not saying that your brethren shouldn't support you, but the having I just wanted the parents to know out there, don't give up on your children. You know, if they're going through that, because that could literally be the difference between the change they need to make and going back into jail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Something as
it's
simple as that. You think
something
that's
as simple, something as simple as that. Because my mum regularly writing me, sending coming to visit me, sending me money for my canteen. I was never down the canteen. It acted as a deterrent in the transition. So
yeah,
that would always play a part in my mind. Say like I'm doing something I should, because it wasn't just like, oh, one day I just went like this, and it wasn't like that. You have little bumps in the road, as it's a journey in it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
what would always play as a deterrent is you're gonna put your mum through that again. That's what you're gonna do. That was always playing the deterrent. You're gonna put your family through that. You're gonna make, you know what I'm saying? And then after a while, you keep telling yourself that it becomes practice. You start living. You start actually living like like that. No, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And you become more honest with yourself. You become more honest with your friends. I'm not on that. That's not what I'm on right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. No, I'm cool. I'm looking to do this now. This is what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a support system that showed you love more than maybe your friends will while you was in prison. It's easy because you just think to yourself, blood, you were, bro, where was you? Or you know what I'm saying? So on and so on. Yeah.
What you just described and what you just said, and then making that conscious effort to move towards the positive, you know, is did that give you an additional drive to get it right with the music, to make it happen, to make it work?
Yeah. 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 It was just like I knew I liked large amounts of money as well. You know what I'm saying? Well, I knew I liked that, having being able to buy the things that I wanted. And it was like being from East London, even big up Rasket, big up Lethal. These was people that I was familiar with before them blowing up,
Mm.
and to see their transitions, to it was inspiring to say the least. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to say now as we're grown men. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I tell Rasket this all the time. Like it was inspiring to think, this guy that Stallman introduced me to at a big age. I'm sitting down, I'm reading magazines. He's in. Same with Lethal, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it was very inspiring, man. It was very inspiring to see that and know that this is a possibility. This is a possibility. You can change your life from this.
Giggs described music as paradise. He said it's the
Yeah,
way out for everyone, you know.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I have to agree with him. I would have to definitely agree with him, the opportunities that we've managed to create always seep through to other people as well, around us and
Mm.
beyond us. You know what I'm saying? I always want the man them to win, because it's like, I know what you're doing for the economy. When
Mm.
people that look like us, sound like us, walk and talk like us don't want to see another brother win, I ain't never gonna understand that.
Mm.
I know that Stormzy headline in Glastonbury strengthens our economy.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
just know, like, you're silly if you don't think that. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? All of these wins for the culture, it strengthens the economy. You know what I'm saying? Of what we are doing here. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It breeds more opportunities in ways that you won't even know. You know?
Let's take it back to the album, Fire and
Yeah.
Brimstone. I love the way that you use Dizzy's vocals on that. It's
Yeah.
what was the thought or like the thinking behind that? Because it feels like you got classic Rascal vocals, classic Dizzee Rascal vocals with the way, you know, it gave it that. I don't know. It took you back, kind of thing. The way that you did that, like, how did that come about? And you know what? You know, some people they be like, all right, let's get Dizzee on the track and we'll do the 16 here and da 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 da. We're gonna take that to radio. Can we get it for the video? Oh, is it a single? But I like the way you made it. It was like the way that you put it in the album. It was like a different chapter altogether. It was like that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. It's like a film. It's not like you're listening to an album. It's like it's dope the way that you put it together. Like, yeah, how did that come about?
Yeah, basically. So I had that track there for a little while. We always feel like the tracks are not finished, even if it's at 100%. Why
Mm,
not? Why not look for 120%? Push it over the mark. And it was like we're listening to the track, and I'm saying, bro, something is missing from the chorus. I'm telling you, man, now the chorus goes around twice. I'm getting bored at the second time. Something's missing, but I don't know where it is. And then one day, I don't know, I was just sitting there. It's like, and I said, check one, two guns in the air. Then I gapped it. Then I said, Feds in the case, but we don't care. Then I said, let me go in the booth and do that. I listened to it. I was like, that's sick. Let me take. It's like it takes you back, and that's what time it was of that lyric. The things I'm talking about. That's when Dizzee would have been saying that. So
mm,
I wanted to. I weren't happy with how I recorded my E3 F verse. Like I had a lot of phlegm on my chest at this time, and I said to Dizzee, "Yo, Diz, if you don't mind, I would like to deliver it again because I had a cold." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Cool." Studio. I said, "Yeah, pull up here. I'm gonna use this studio." And then while he was there, I forgot. And then he was about to go, and I remembered. Oh yeah, this. Listen to this for me. What do you think? He's like sick. Then he heard that. I was like, do you mind if you could if you could
yeah,
do that for me? And he
yeah,
went in there, and it's like he's one of the few people that have the ability to sound exactly the same as he did
mm,
before. That's why so many people think it's a sample. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But I knew they was gonna think it's a sample. So what I got him to do was ad lib the verses as well,
mm,
because there was
yeah,
no way that we could possibly do that. You know what I'm saying? So I got him to ad lib the
yeah.
verses. Yeah,
Yo,
proper.
that threw me off because I was like,
Mm,
how did he get the acapella? I was like,
yeah,
it
it's
threw me. I
clean,
never
innit?
listened to it,
Because
but then
it
I was
don't
like,
exist.
nah, nah. I was like, this is you though, like this. But he sounds like exactly like he did like back in 2003 or something. It's crazy,
Yeah,
like
crazy,
crazy. It's dope, man. That's dope.
crazy.
See with Hop Out, right?
Mm,
Banging track as well, like banging track.
thank you.
I love that West Coast vibe though. It's like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, how did that come about?
basically, TJ, big up TJ Amadi, 2%. That's my executive producer. And he used the West Coast sound in Mozambique, yeah. And I was like, I'm a sucker for that. So every time I produce it, if it was up to me, it'd be on every tune, Sam. If it was up to me, I'm like, every time we're working, I'm like, where's the West Coast thing? Where's the run that? And so it was nice the way Mozambique worked into Fire and Brimstone into Hop Out because
Mm,
we had that theme running through, and that was just paying homage to like Dr. Dre also that time.
mm,
Letting people know like, yo, we come up and we've really studied the greats. Like we've come up on the arts, you know what I'm saying? We've
mm.
studied the guys who are the guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And if we could emulate half of their greatness, we'd be great, you know what I'm saying? So that was just a salute as well.
mm. So, so you know, and I see three. You said there's only one Ghetts, there's only one Skepta. How
Yeah,
significant is Skepta to the game?
very significant. His style, the reason why I even said that is because he's the king of that style.
Mm,
And I'm the king of this style. You know what I'm saying? And from us, there's been a lot of different great artists that have stemmed from either the technical aspect
mm,
or the the more simple but effective aspect, which is genius as well. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
there's no, I used to think when I was younger and more and less wiser than I am now. Still not even wise, but definitely less wiser than I am now. I used to think there was a style that was the champion style. There ain't a style that's the champion style. It's the understanding of all styles.
Mm.
That's what the champion is. When you can understand it and know when to do it and when not to do it, and know how to collaborate with somebody that's not of that style but sound great together. You know.
Mm.
So yeah, and even just like what he's done on a worldwide level, is sick to see him do that and
Mm.
achieve that. Definitely.
He's like the Bruce Lee of lyricism because any style, like obviously you can
Mm,
do grime, you can do
mm,
rap, you can do the dirty south style of rap, like on that kind of tempo.
mm,
You can do Afro beats. He's one of the most versatile guys, and it doesn't. None of it sounds bait. None of it sounds forced or whatever. Like,
mm.
and you guys both kill that track the way that you're going back to back. When you did IC3, was there any element of him keeping you on your toes or you keeping him on his toes? Did it get, what was that like?
Nah, do you know what the track was like? It was like as soon as he said, um, the line is the power of the black skin unlocked it, then I tapped in. It changed the dynamic of what the song was gonna be.
Really?
It was, yeah, because I think before, like I was in the mindset of like, let's just go at it, let's spar, let's spar.
Mm.
Then it changed. That line changed the song to like, picture this, me and him on the front line together, on the same side, not on opposite sides.
Mm.
It was that line that done it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I took the right there. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Cool. I know where to take it. I know what concept this is. I'm with
Right.
it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And then even like saying to him while he was writing his bar, I said to him, because I wanted to but I didn't want to tell him to do it. So I was like,
Mm.
yo, you turning down the MBE was cold. You know,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was that was cold. I rate that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it and
yeah,
it
sick.
worked because you put it in the bar. You know what I'm saying?
So you say a line, don't 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 tell me go back where I came from while the Queen sits there on stolen jewels. No,
Stolen jewels, yeah.
yeah, I'm not a rapper, bro. Forgive me. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's cool. That's
saying?
cool. That's cool.
But let me get this right. Don't tell me go back where I came from while the Queen sits there on stolen jewels.
Stolen
All right,
jewels, yeah. Yeah.
it's a deeper bar.
It's a deeper bar because when you're, as you know, mixed race, black, Asian, any of like the racist thing is to say, go back where you came from.
Hmm.
Hey, see if we go back and we came from and we take everything with us, what's left?
Hmm. All right.
Layers in that bar. You
Hmm.
feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
What's left? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that was me just, you gotta talk that reals.
It's an educational bar right there. There's a lot of
Yeah,
talk in
we
the
gotta.
media these days. It's like there's a lot of things going on that, somebody, if there's a student out there, whether they're listening to this podcast right now or whether, they've been listening to your album, if you just take that bar and do just a little bit of research, yo, you'll see some shit like that this country was built on. It's deep.
Deep, very deep. You know what I'm saying? Very, very deep indeed.
Is that something that you've done before, like deliberately, like where you've been writing and you're like, you know what, I want to provoke thought. I want to provoke people to like, think about this in greater detail, you know.
Yeah, all the time, and that's why I call what I do layer rap. Like some people, if you listen to like what I'm saying and you go and think about it, some people just think it's a line. It's not a just line. When I say like, how can a yard man order Chinese but he won't eat food from Nigeria? Like on
Mm,
first listen, it's just like, oh, it's a funny line.
mm,
Look into it deeply. Like you
mm,
look and see that's self-hate. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? We grew up thinking like laughing at like Caribbeans, we might laugh at fufu when we're growing up. Like fufu,
mm,
like you know what I'm saying? And laugh. But where does that come from? Why is that instilled in us? You know what I'm saying? and then you look at it in layers, then you understand how, oh, this bar's crazy. Because now it's got you thinking deeper. But some people, it's all frequencies, isn't it? Music is frequencies. And unfortunately, the frequency of lyricism hasn't been tapped into as often as it should. But let me give you some jokes, Sam, yeah, why I think my album even done good. Yeah. Let me give you some joke, yeah. What I think. Layers again. There's no raves. We need substance right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we need substance.
Yeah.
Like
True.
so like I think that's helped me. Like I think that's helped where my album, how people have digested it differently. We need substance. Like the bottles and the models and my bust down and that's sick. I enjoy it, bro. I'm not looking at that. I love it, bro. Like I'm shallow sometimes. Like I love that. In the bro, like bro, I'm shallow. Bro, I'm in the dance, like, yeah, this is going off. I love all of that. But it's about balance also. You know what I'm saying? The same way I love Future in a dance is the same way I love Kendrick in the car.
Yeah.
When I'm rolling and it's just a frequency. I'm tapped into that frequency as well, where I'm hearing things for the layer rap and I'm saying, reload that, go back there. What does Donny mean? I say, what Donny mean by that? So on and so on. Cole, you know what I'm saying? Rappers of that echelon, you know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite Kendrick Lamar album?
What's that one with Black Boy Fly? Black Boy Fly. 1 second, let me find it. Hold on. Because I don't think it's Good Kid. I think it might be Mad. It might be Damn. It might be Damn. It might be Damn. Not 100% sure. But I'm more Cole than Kendrick, you know?
Really?
Like as a fan, yeah. I did like Kendrick, yeah. I wasn't into Kendrick straight away.
Right.
And people couldn't believe it. It was like, you fam, you would love him. How come? Like, it never hit me. It never hit me straight away. But then I went back, and then I had the understanding that Donny's crazy with it. Don's crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
it's deep. The equilibrium is more one way than the other. It's deep.
Yeah,
that's deep.
Yeah.
How did you connect with Ed Sheeran?
Back in the day, but what this time round?
Yeah, just in general.
Oh, in general, I was doing a late night studio session at Louis White's.
Right.
This is years and years ago, over a decade ago, maybe.
Right.
And as I'm doing that, I'm ready to go home. It's like 5:30 in the morning, or don't quote me on that, around about them times. And this ginger kid walks in through the door, introduces himself, has a real great energy, warming energy. And but Devlin and Louis White had already spoken highly about him. Like, yeah, you're gonna love him when you meet him. He's a nutter. He's like us. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, all right, cool. And then he said to me, Ghetts, man, I would really love you on my project. Such and such and such. I'm like, cool, no problem. Send the tune over. He's like, can you do it for me now?
Wow.
I'm like, oh. My brain's fried at this moment. Like I've been in there all day. You know, my voice is gone. It's rasp. But yeah, do you know what? He played the song to me, and I just did it for him. A couple hours, I did it, and then this time when I had 10,000 tears, I just hit him up, and he did the same for me. So yeah,
right. Dope.
Yeah,
Dope.
Yeah, dope. yeah, for real. Yeah.
Was there ever any moment where you thought this might be a risk because you're known as the rapper's rapper? You've got an album which is hard, like hard lyricism and everything else. Was there ever a moment where you're like, maybe I need to do, like
Sam, I can't care anymore, Sam, man. I gotta be I can't let other people's thoughts and perceptions keep me chained, keep me in a box. I can't do it. I did it for too long.
Because you know
I did it.
the grime police are out here. You know what I
Sem,
mean?
Sem, I hate them as much as they hate me. Like, like Sem, I can't do it. I can't do it, Sem. I'm too musically educated. I live my life in full to let people who don't leave their house keep me in a chain with their thoughts and perspectives. I'm out here, bro. I live a great life across the board in terms of music. I go to people's events. I have a great understanding of music than the
Mm,
average ear. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy
mm,
music on such a wide soundscape. Like the most played music in my iTunes right now is Kaleem Taylor, an R&B singer, and Brent Fayez.
right. Wow.
That's what I'm listening to most.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm in. That's what I'm enjoying the most out of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to keep hiding behind this, oh, I'm meant to be this super lyricist, hard rapper. I can't. That's not how I live my life. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Sometimes, yeah, I want to get my point across without rap,
Right.
without it,
Mm,
without it. But musically, I want to get the point across, but I don't want to rap because
right.
the situation that I want to talk about, I just want to hold a note for a few seconds.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I can't let these people direct me into thinking who I should be because the truth is this: what they fell in love with, they didn't know they was gonna fall in love with that. That was my idea of me at that time.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? You fell in love with that. Now you try to keep that person that person.
mm.
It's not. That was authentic to me at that point because that's where I was. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Everything I do now is authentic to me. And you know, I've realized about people, they listen to music with their eyes. Sam, I don't trust people that listen to music with their eyes. You can't trust them. They're looking at the view to let them know if
Mm,
the tune is good.
mm,
They're looking at the views of the song to let them know if the tune is good. They're looking at the look of a person to let them know if this feels right. Ghetts and Ed Sheeran. No, 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 no. What have they done? No, no, no. That's not what I want. You haven't heard it yet. You haven't
right.
heard it yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those people cannot be trusted with a phone, tweeting, leaving. They cannot be trusted, man. You know what I'm saying? Or Dave, what's Dave and Ghetts gonna do, man? They're so like, what do you mean? We're musicians that love music.
Mm,
Like stop, like you know what I'm saying? Or how does this work? How does Emily Sandé and Ghetts work?
mm,
Everybody works. That's the truth.
mm,
Anybody who loves music as much as artists love music, you can always find a middle ground as long as you have an open conversation.
mm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As long as you're versatile enough as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. I hear
So I
that.
don't
I
let
hear
I don't let them control me anymore. No, not at all.
that. Skeng man. All right.
Mm,
So
yeah,
I was fortunate enough to pass through the video shoot, and then, and it's a crazy day, amazing day. Mist was down there, Shabo was down there, um, and the video, because that was the first time I heard the track. Like I was just like,
yeah,
wow, this is crazy. And you and Stormzy, and everything else, it was like it was just like it was like, yeah, this is what they do. Like it shouldn't be a surprise. Yourself and Stormzy, it shouldn't be a surprise that other people was on the set, and it was like, yeah, yeah, dope. All right, cool. Then the track comes out, and it's hard for me as a DJ to not say anything, like what I mean, because it's like I knew there was greatness coming,
yeah,
so so I'm like, all right. So a couple of months later, track finally comes out, right? And even the picture that we
yeah,
took, you were like, yeah, Sam, like hold it down to the
yeah,
did
yeah,
that,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, all of that, and then what's crazy was, so I'm playing the track, playing it on my show and everything else. I didn't even think there was I didn't even think about the chip thing, the chip and Stormzy situation that was going on. It didn't even cross my mind. I was just like, and it was only when I saw you did this, you did like not an announcement, you did like you was talking on it because it's like obviously the Grime Police might have been at it or some other people or whatever. And I was like, wow, that's deep. So then you start listening to Stormzy's bars and you just start like He said that, you know what I mean? Then you start adding two and two and getting 10 or whatever. And regardless, but how easy is it to navigate through the politics? Because like you didn't even know,
Sam,
like it took you by surprise,
yeah,
right?
Sam, I'll be honest with you. Where I am now, where how my mindset is, it's like all this new school era stuff is just like it doesn't really bother me. But what I will not do is let a narrative come and affect what I'm doing. You know, so in terms of like problems that people have got that were once friends, nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to do with me, and I won't put any fuel to the fire. You know what I'm saying? I won't speak on it. It's just
Mm.
I'm just you know what I'm saying? It's just whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it.
I had people telling me, yeah, this track's gonna fly now because the attention letters get in and da 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 da. It's all different things, but for you personally, like you're in a new situation, body of works out, and then all of a sudden you're like, this is going on. Like,
Yeah,
how did you feel?
I don't I don't like imagine this for me, it's like imagine I got my whole campaign planned out.
Mm,
I got it planned out. So I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm just
mm,
like I, I don't move, bro. My mind's on the album. It's just like that's where my mindset is. Like I'm
mm,
focused, man. I'm focused, my guy. Like I'm so focused.
mm,
Nothing's gonna shake that boat or
mm,
anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen to, oh, I'm a lion, bro. I ain't listening to the opinion of no sheep. You know what I'm
mm.
saying?
I heard
That
it.
people want to be entertained, right? At any cost, they want to be entertained. So that's how I'm aware people think. They just want to
Mm,
be entertained, which is
mm.
fine. I understand it. I understand how the consumer thinks. I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? But where but where my where my mind is at this point is a very different place. A very,
Mm,
very different place. And some people can't get past the ghetto being on the roof easily triggered, you
mm.
know? They think I'm 19 still.
Right.
I'm far from it. Like I'm far from it. I'm a very focused individual. I know what the end goal is.
Mm,
And that's it. And that's it. And that's what we would carry on striving to. Nobody can adjust that journey. This is God's will, bro. I pray properly. I pray. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I ain't perfect, Sam. I ain't perfect,
mm,
but I'm always talking to the big man and saying, you know what? If you have to use me as a vessel, use me as a vessel. As long as my intentions are pure. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? My intentions are always gonna be pure. You feel what I'm saying? So that's it.
mm. You start off the album with Fine Wine, and you say,
Hmm.
"My best years are ahead of me." What's the
Yeah.
future hold for Ghetts?
Um, more moves, and you know what it is? It's just not just me. It's not just about me, Sam. I don't know if you've noticed, yeah, but I work with a lot of people that may not be known at the time or as well known as me, because sometimes I feel like the opportunity is coming via me.
Mm,
Sometimes it's not about me. I may be the catalyst for an opportunity. I just that's what I might just be. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? But someone's gonna eat from my opportunity. Someone's gonna be able to change their life through my opportunity. And that's just where I'm at with it. I'm looking at the team around me and I'm saying, wow, it's weird because I'm saying, oh, they say God works in mysterious ways. And I'm thinking, I met TJ all 10 years ago. We're saying God had this in the works from all back then.
mm,
Crazy. And I'm seeing how certain things have come into fruition. I'm saying, wow, bro. So obviously we don't, it's weird for me because I don't want to feed into the numbers, but I want to show gratitude and I want to be grateful for the change, for the progress. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I want to show God that I'm very thankful for this new lease of life, for how many ears are listening to it, for people that may not even for people that may have had the wrong idea about me. They might have seen me in a rave shouting my heart out and think, All my man does is shout, man. I ain't
mm,
listening to my or not even giving me the chance. So to have
mm,
so many people listening to the album and then people saying, nah, trust me, my
mm,
man's thing is cold.
mm,
All right, let me give that a one listen.
mm,
I'm not gonna lie, it's cold, you know. Like that feels amazing. That feels amazing for me to And and another thing, Sam, do you know what no one's really clocking? Imagine no one really saw that coming. I'm
mm,
36, Sam. My whole generation of people, yeah, everyone that's relevant in my generation seen this before me.
mm,
So no one saw this coming for me in a time which ain't my generation's time. So they must know that it's God's work. You see, this ain't by coincidence. You know what I'm saying? No one saw this coming like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you must know he's working with a different powers because
mm,
this ain't even him in his generation's time. It's in another generation's time. It's not even the next generation for me or the next one. It's the next one. So
mm.
then when you look at it as deep as that, you must be knowing we're working with something, we're working with pure intentions over here, over this side. No one ain't gonna get blessed like that unless your intentions are pure. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. That must give you a next inspiration for like whatever you do next, right?
Yeah, but now it's like now I'm talking to the man upstairs like, okay, what do you want me to do with this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I ain't trying to run wild and just put out mad messages out there and you know what I'm saying? I know that okay, you must want me to talk about your powers. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? You must want me to let people know that anything's possible through you. And that's why I'm talking about interviews. I'm telling people like, yo, this is what I was doing.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I was working hard in the lab with great people around me with pure intentions, and we was praying. Bro, when I signed my deal, Sam, yeah, I made the whole floor pray with me.
really,
No jokes. Like when
really.
I signed my deal, as soon as I signed my contract, yeah, I made the whole floor pray with me. You
That's
know?
real.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, and it's not about but you speak about, bro, like I ain't perfect. I keep telling people,
Mm,
man ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? But what I
mm,
will not let go by is people thinking that this is just man's works. I just made a good body of work. It ain't just that.
mm,
There's a higher power involved
mm,
in what we're doing, and there's gonna be a higher power involved in us moving forward, and that's just that. You
mm.
know what I'm saying? And I will not be ashamed. I will not be ashamed to talk about it or anything like that. And I will not play it down. That's just where we're at. And I just thinking like as long as I'm happy for another man winning and I can celebrate that person and I have no ill intention towards anybody. I have pure thoughts. It will continue. It's not going to stop. It's going to continue. The growth will continue. And as long as I keep on that path where there's no ill intention towards anybody else and it's just love, love. I'm inspired by what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I'm inspired by it, you know, being celebrating one another, and just knowing that, you know what, your journey is different from somebody else's. You might only sell this and that person sells that, but don't compare your person to this person. Don't compare yourself to this person. It's two different things. You don't know your journey.
Mm.
You don't know what I've got in store for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just about keeping that belief and faith all the way through, you know?
That's real.
So I'm at with it, my guy.
Not a lot else to say after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to end it. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah,
That's dope,
yeah.
man. Well, look, listen, again, congratulations on everything. It's like you've done it, killed it, and it's not even about because it's not even about the chart position. For me, I'm like, it's you've done a dope body of work. You've done something that
Thank you.
is gonna inspire future generations of artists. It's gonna help people get through what they're getting through at the moment. There's a lot of people going through it right now because the lockdown, the pandemic, and everything else is there's this whole the mental health discussion is a new thing, but it's been going on for years. It's like,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah,
music is one of the it is music is the only thing we've got really that is any
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
medicine or any kind of treatment, soothes
Truth,
the soul,
truth, truth,
So
truth.
you definitely done that, again,
Thank,
you know.
thank you, my
So
guy. Thank you. I
so
appreciate you, man.
so so
Appreciate you for real.